Every day you wake up trying to invent your plan on the spot, and that's exactly what's keeping you stuck. I'm Marcus Voss. I help people move from mental chaos to clarity by rebuilding how they think, plan, and act. This isn't about motivation, it's about architecture, turning your day into a system that works even when your energy doesn't. Because if you're tired of reacting, rushing, and rebuilding your routine from scratch, you're about to see why systems win and improvisation keeps you chasing your tail. Improvisation feels flexible, but without a system, it becomes a trap. If every day starts with a blank slate, your brain burns energy trying to build structure from scratch. And that fatigue is what kills your momentum. Most people don't realize how much energy they waste on daily decision making. Waking up and wondering what to prioritize, where to start, what matters most, you're not lazy, you're overloaded. Because your mind isn't built to invent order every morning. It's built to follow loops, rhythms, and repetition. The truth is, successful people don't wake up more motivated. They wake up into a system that's already been designed. Their energy flows into action, not into planning under pressure. Meanwhile, improvisers live in survival mode, always reacting, always adjusting, always one step behind. If that's been your life, you know how exhausting it is. You start the week with a plan, but by Tuesday it's chaos again. You keep tweaking your tools, downloading new apps, rewriting your routine, but the problem isn't the tool, it's the absence of a core system beneath it. And that's the turning point. Structure is not restriction, it's protection. From reactivity, from burnout, from failure loops that feel personal but are really mechanical. Because when you think like a system, you don't depend on motivation, you depend on design. Let me show you how. You wake up already behind, the day hasn't even started, and your brain is juggling everything at once. Deadlines, messages, ideas, guilt. You try to organize your mind on the fly, but it always feels like you're catching up. That pressure you feel, it's not weakness, it's the weight of improvising in a world that rewards systems. Let me guess, you start your morning scrolling through your phone, telling yourself you'll get it together after one more reel. You open your laptop with no clear entry point, so you default to checking notifications. You jump between tabs, switch tasks constantly, and by the end of the day, you've been busy, but nothing feels complete. You rewrite your plan midweek, hoping the next version will finally work. Sound familiar? That's not laziness. That's a system silently sabotaging your energy. Not because it's broken, but because it was never built. You're trying to make powerful decisions in an environment full of noise and urgency. Your brain is overwhelmed with input, starving for direction. And the hardest part? Every time it falls apart, you think it's your fault. You blame your focus, your habits, your willpower, but the truth is, your mind was never meant to work without rhythm, rituals, or clarity. You don't need more discipline. You need structure that protects your energy, a pattern that holds even when life gets messy, a system that starts before your motivation does. And here's the good news. In the next few minutes, you'll discover exactly why this pattern keeps repeating and how your brain is wired to thrive when you shift from improvisation to design. Let's break it down. Your brain isn't broken, it's efficient. It's always scanning for the path of least resistance, the option that burns the least energy and feels the most familiar. And in a chaotic environment, that path usually leads straight to distraction, not intention. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature of how your mind evolved. The limbic system, the brain's emotional control center, is wired to seek immediate comfort and avoid uncertainty. That's why when there's no clear plan, your mind defaults to quick dopamine hits, checking your phone, switching tabs, reacting to what's urgent instead of what's important. This is why improvisation feels natural but drains you. It's a survival pattern, not a growth strategy. Picture your brain like a river. Without structure, the water flows wherever there's least resistance. It floods into open spaces, creates random currents, and erodes the banks. But build a channel, a system, and suddenly that same energy has direction, force, and momentum. Focus works the same way. It's not about trying harder, it's about giving your brain a channel to flow through. Without that channel, your attention gets scattered. With it, even a small amount of energy moves you forward powerfully. And here's the science behind that momentum: neuroplasticity. Your brain constantly reshapes itself based on what you repeat. Every time you act with clarity in a structured space, you're not just getting things done, you're building a neurological map that says, "This is who I am now." You don't need more motivation. You need an environment that makes your best behavior the easiest option, because your surroundings train your brain. And when you change what's around you, you change what happens within you. In the next block, I'll give you a simple, powerful tool, one you can apply today to start building your personal system from the ground up. Let's design the path, not just chase the outcome. The technique is called the anchor square. It's not an app, not a tool, not a timer. It's a 1 meter space, a square you claim as sacred. In that square, your only task is clarity. It's the place where improvisation ends and your system begins. Here's how it works. Your challenge for the next 24 hours is simple. Choose one task that repeats in your life. Something that always comes back but often gets rushed, skipped, or reimagined each time. It could be planning your week, sorting your inbox, writing your journal, or preparing your workspace. Whatever you choose, commit to systematizing it into 3 fixed steps. Not 10, just 3. Then, create your anchor square. It doesn't need to be fancy. It could be your desk, a clear corner, a quiet spot at a cafe. The only rule is this. When you enter that square, you follow your system. No improvisation, no multitasking, no reacting. You follow the 3 steps and you leave. This isn't about becoming robotic. It's about building consistency in the small things so your brain stops negotiating every decision. The structure sets you free. Neuroscience tells us that rituals and environment act as powerful cues for behavioral activation. When your brain sees the same space linked to the same action over and over again, it begins to associate that space with clarity, presence, and output. Neural pathways form. What once took effort becomes automatic. With each repetition, you are rewiring your brain to say, "This is how I start, this is how I move." That's why this challenge matters. You're not just completing a task, you're declaring to your nervous system, "This is who I am now." Every system starts small, but every system, once rooted, becomes a path you can walk with less resistance and more power. So don't wait. Choose your task, design your 3 steps, clear your anchor square, begin. Because the difference between someone who improvises and someone who builds momentum is not talent. It's repeatable structure. And now you have one. Today you discovered something powerful. You don't struggle because you lack motivation. You struggle because you're forced to reinvent the wheel every single day. Improvisation has drained your clarity, but now you've seen the path out. You've learned that systems aren't about control, they're about liberation. They take the weight off your brain 1 repeated step at a time. They transform the chaotic into the predictable, the overwhelming into the manageable. And just by staying with this episode, you've already done something rare. You've stopped to reflect. You've chosen to understand the invisible patterns shaping your focus. That alone is progress. Remember, change is not built on occasional effort. It's built on consistent cues, small rituals, and systems that support who you want to become. So breathe. You've begun. Now, stay with it. Because in the next moment, you see how everything you felt, everything you faced, can finally be converted into clarity, with the system designed to support your next chapter. If today's episode showed you that focus is not a personal flaw, but the result of a broken system, then you're already 1 step ahead of the loop you've been stuck in. Change My Mind is not another self-help course. It's a complete cognitive reset, built to rewire how you plan, decide, and follow through. Grounded in neuroscience, designed for real life. If your days feel scattered, if you keep slipping into distraction and exhaustion, this is the framework that helps you regain control. 1 shift at a time, with structure that adapts to you, not the other way around. The link is in the description, and this program is only available through this channel. Click now to access Change My Mind and start designing the mental system your life deserves. If this content resonated with you, hit like, share it with someone who needs clarity, and comment below. What's the one habit that steals your focus the most? In the next episode, why getting motivated might be holding you back. We'll break the emotional trap that's kept you waiting to feel ready. I'm Marcus Foss, expert in focus, productivity, and mental clarity. And your next chapter starts here.